Hello and welcome to a special 10D11 care, sort of. I'm your host, Mike Lopez, and this is not a new episode, so we're not going to have any, you usual bells and whistles. Um, this is kind of more of a call for help for a project that has been put on hold since we found out we had to relocate back in June. So, in 2010, the Hockey Hall of Fame opened their women's hockey wing. Not to be confused with the International Hockey Hall of Fame, which does have their own separate wing, which they are routinely adding players and memorabilia into and inducting. Right? Um, since the Hockey Hall of Fame opened their wing, they've only inducted 10 members. That's right, 10 members in 14 years. And in three of those years, 2011, 2012, and 2016, they did not induct a single woman into the Hockey Hall of Fame. A little side note: in 2021, no one was inducted because of the pandemic, so anyone that would have been inducted got pushed back to 2022. Right? But since the Hockey Hall of Fame routinely ignores women hockey players and women hockey builders, perfect example, Hazel McKillen. There have been several campaigns to get her into Hockey Hall of Fame. She's still not in. She helped basically build women's hockey in Canada. Um, there are one of the Norris daughter. I can't. I'm sorry, her name escapes me, but was basically ran the Detroit Red Wings in the '50s. Not in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Barely even mentioned. So out of frustration that I'm 100% sure many WoHo fans are feeling, and especially with this being um, induct Hockey Hall of Fame induct weekend, we've decided to relaunch our unofficial Women's Hockey Hall of Fame campaign. Basically, what we're doing is we're going around asking all of the fans to vote on who they believe should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Okay, this so there are going to be 12 inductees in the inaugural class, right? It's broken down to set categories. So we're going to be inducting two Americans, two Canadians, four international players, two pioneer players, and two builders. I will explain this momentarily. All ballots will be write-ins, and the inductees with the top votes in those separate categories will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, so in order to be eligible for each different level, uh, candidates must meet the following criteria. To be a player, you have to be retired 3 years. You can be in your national Hall of Fame, like if you're in the Finnish Hall of Fame or the Canadian Hall of Fame or the American Hall of Fame, you're definitely eligible to be in the unofficial WoHo Hall of Fame. Um, Pioneer, so basically any player who played pre-Title IX. So that's from 1891, which is the earliest documented women playing hockey, to 1972. There are going to be more than likely a lot of Canadians to choose from this because, for the most part, that's where the game was played. Women's hockey doesn't have that big of a history out until Title IX. There are a lot of club teams, but very hard to find statistics and records on any any teams like the Rivalettes or the Seattle Metropolitans, teams like that based in the states. Okay, so to be a builder, basically you've had to contribute to the growth of women's hockey and may be active in the community, the sport, i.e., like you can be an active coach, you could be a broadcaster, you could be writer, whatever. As long as you are active in the community, you are eligible to be in the Unofficial Women's Hockey Hall of Fame. Okay. Um, Originally, the ballots were supposed to be due in the end of September. Like I said earlier, relocation kind of threw a monkey wrench into those plans. Getting it set up, had to move. So, all right. So because of that, we've extended voting until December 31st of this year. So you have another month and a half, roughly, to vote. With the inaugural class will be announced sometime in January. Figure with the PWHL starting up and the new year always being a little chaotic. We do plan on reveal. We'll do a nice little video, right, with stats and all that lovely, those fancy bells and whistles that we don't have right now. All right. So to submit a ballot, please follow the link below in the description, and yeah, submit a ballot. Read it. If there's someone that you want in the Hall of Fame, let me know. Let us know. We will vote. All right. Also, back in June, I happened to be a guest on the Founding Four podcast, talking about this exact same thing, rambling just like I am now about women's hockey. So if you want to hear me talk with Erica Ayala and Angelica Rodriguez about the Women's Hockey Hall of Fame, who deserves to be in, who we think is eligible, and a couple of clarifications to who's eligible. We get into a little more in depth than I can do in a short form video. So there's going to be that link below. Until then, always hug your attendees and make sure you vote. All right. Talk to you later.